to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Ba, 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 ba. Is it going to go? Hi, there we go. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. I am here with the wonderful Nick Hunter and Ken Tooley, who are both continuing our current long-standing series, which is, I'll pull this up for us right here so you all can see. We have the existing FileMaker file design and modernization workshop, which has been going on day 25, day 26, and day 27. It is Ken Dooley's wonderful aviation file that Nick is renovating live, which has been a really interesting endeavor so far. If you would like to support the channel, which we'd greatly appreciate it, we run 5 days a week on 3 different platforms, Discord, YouTube, and Twitch. Buy one of these. They're really great. 100+ hours of really high energy video training content. Nick's a presenter on it. Richard's a presenter. It's all really 4 bite-sized topics. 5 to 20 minutes about how long it is. Very animated, very concise. A lot of people like our live streams. They're like, man, I really wish I had some more concise videos on this. Buy the training. It's great. Helps keep this running. Helps keep our community outreach going and encouraging the FileMaker community. So that's fun. With that being said, I think I'm going to hand it over to Nick. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello. Thank you much. Thank you, Ken, for joining in today. Thank you, everybody from the audience, like every day. We are always glad to see you guys. And so today we continue this series, right, which is amazing. So today we continue this series about building Ken's files. And so we're going to continue we're going to build another layout. So this is my typical way of building solutions. So let's talk about that. So let's typically in a solution like this, when you have multiple entities, right? In a database world, what we call entity is a point of entry, like balloons and pilots. So when you have different entity like this, it's better to have dedicated layouts to access them. Okay, so you have one layout for each entity, right? For each world, you have one layout for this, and then you have a kind of a smart navigation between those layouts, right? So, but don't try to have one layout showing everything, right? Get a layout that have one purpose. It's a little bit like a house, okay? I was during a time in the real estate business, right? And we talk, when somebody wants to sell a house, we say, okay, each room must be identifiable easily, right? And then must have only one purpose, right? So that means you cannot have a room that is an office, baby room, and storage, right? If you have a room like this, you confuse people and they don't know what to do. Okay, so they can't identify the room. In FileMaker, I've learned that the same. You need to apply the same principle. When you have one layout that do pilots, the layout must do pilots. When you have a layout that do balloons, the layout must be balloons. It's a little bit like we do in FM starting points. You have different worlds. You have estimates, contact, accounts, invoice, okay, project, product, whatever. And you have a dedicated point of entry, dedicated layout where you land there, right? Then you can share information between them, right? Like we do here in that example where you have the pilot and you have the balloon shared, with that pilot and the documents, right? So you have shared information like this, but we have dedicated dedicated layout, right, for that, right? So that's the main principle. And then when you have those worlds together, we'll talk about the navigation, okay, between those worlds, okay? Because as I always said, the best navigation is not having one. Okay, so that means is to have something intuitive and something flowing. But that will be at the end when we're done with what we're doing right now. We're going to talk about navigation, right? That will be the final topic on this layout, on this solution. But for now, let's go and finish this. So last time, I just remember this, we were exporting documents, right? So I think that's done, right? So I can switch topic here. So yeah. So now we take care about the balloon. So Ken, last week you said that we have one balloon, and then we can share the balloon to many pilots, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So to do that, and I already talk about this, right? But I'm going to talk about this again because now it's getting more relevant. When you have one balloon that can go to multiple pilots, and one pilot can get multiple balloons, right? You need to use what we call a cross-reference table. Okay, so we already built this, and I don't remember when that was in the webinar in this series. It was at the at the beginning, I think, like this,
fairly early on.
Yeah, early, yeah. So what is a cross-reference, right? It is a table that you create that will serve the purpose of being a bridge between the two main entities. Like here we have balloons and pilots, balloons, right? So in order to connect, one pilot with multiple balloon and multiple balloon with one pilot, right? You need a table that will gather the information to connect the dot together, okay? So I call that cross-reference table, call the way you want. And you have the table has the purpose of doing that job of connecting the dots together. That's why I'm calling that pilot balloons, right? So this is the cross-reference one, because you can have multiple in one solution. Sometimes I have 10, 15, right? And then you say, okay, it's the pilot to the balloons, right?
Mm-hmm.
You use the more, to name this, you use the more relevant, direction. It could have been balloon pilots, right? But here it's all about the pilots using the balloons, So
right.
we tend to put the human beings in front of their, of the priority. Okay, so it's the pilot using the balloons, right? So if I had to do like the balloon, and you have let's say a service guy, doing some maintenance on the balloon, I would have said balloon repair guy, mechanic or whatever. I would have done the opposite.
Sure.
Because it's the balloon and the mechanic serve the balloon. But here is the balloon, serve the pilot, right? So it's this is how we we tend to to think when you need to name something like this, right? But it doesn't make any difference if you call it balloon pilot, right? Just to tell you how I'm imagining
the
things.
two things it's connecting.
Exactly. And here we have, so I already talked about that, so I'm just doing a refresher, right?
Right.
So we have a record. You have one record that holds the two IDs. So we create an ID, we create a record where we store the balloon ID and the pilot ID, and then we connect this table to the pilots, and then we know which balloon this pilot has. And because this table, we can create as many records as we want, right? We can connect multiple balloons to one pilots, right? And we can create another record from another pilot with the same ID of the same the same balloon, right? So we can connect multiple times the same balloon to multiple pilots, and vice versa. Okay.
Right.
So that's how we use it. But now what I want to do, I want to show you a little bit how we can reuse a layout and build another layout totally different out of this. The demonstration of today and maybe tomorrow, it's about the reusability. And it's about demonstrating that when you have a constant design, the same principle, the same architecture, the same landscape, always, right? That helps you a lot. Because here what I've done. So last week, I took this pilot layout and I duplicated it, right? And this is what I've got out of it. So I've got this layout, which is pretty much broken, okay? Because it points to another table. So those fields need to be fixed, but we fixed that already. Okay, we fixed that already. Okay, we fixed the
all
names
the text
here
pieces
yeah,
there.
all the text pieces. Yeah. We'll take care about this later. Okay, but for now we have the basic we need to identify the record, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can hide this for now because when you want to hide something without deleting, I don't want to delete it. I just want to hide it, just not distracting the people. So what you do, let me move this here. What you do, you select the object, right? And in the hide condition, you put 1, right? Right. So you put 1 in the hide condition. So that means it will be always hidden. So when you go browse mode, your object is not in front of your face, right? So it's not until we fix it, okay? Because I don't want to break the design. I just want to keep it. So now, Ken, so let's go to your balloon verification, right? This is the layout you had before, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't talk about the document right now. We just talk about the field we have here. So those are fields that we enter. We have dates here, right?
Yes.
The name of the balloon, and what is this?
That was a display field, kind of combining the expires and the extended date. I used it for including on an email that I send pilots.
I understand. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. So we're going to have this dates, and we have some option here, and we have some status I see, and then you have some toggles here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. All those toggles are booleans.
Yeah. So booleans like this. So you have this going on. Okay. So let's replicate this, right? So, and what do we have here? We have some dates again.
Same thing. Yeah. Same type of thing there.
Okay. So let's reorganize this. So today is a little bit more about design and stuff like this, right? So, the pilot name. This is the pilot that has this balloon, right? So,
and this is a case where there are 2 pilots on that balloon.
Yeah. So, but we can have 10 pilots, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So let's build it. So here we're going to start with the balloon name, right? Because it's the most important. So we're going to recycle this field with the balloon name. So you take this and you say, okay, balloon name. I think, or we have name.
I think it's name.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so then we have this, so then we have those dates here. So what this is a registration number,
Yes.
I bet. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's reorganize a little bit this, right? So I want the registration number. So the balloon name we put like this, right? We're going to move this status stuff here, right? Let's move this on the side right now, right? So I can delete this, right? And I can, just. And then here we're going to put the registration number, okay? So this is a balloon name, right? And then we're going to duplicate this. So I think I have yeah. So I'm going to duplicate this, put it here, right? And say this is the registration number. Okay?
Yep.
So what the name of the registration? This?
No.
Balloon registration. Okay.
Yeah, you can, that one right there.
Okay. So
obviously I wasn't consistent in my naming scheme of
no,
field.
it's okay. But it's a good example. So why? Okay. Here the principle that I'm applying to myself. Okay, and it's the result of years of experience, right? When you name something, don't put things that are not useful. For example, here we are in the balloon table. Okay, so the table is well identified, so there's no doubts that we are in balloon. So balloon is no longer relevant. Okay, we can put, we can remove the word balloons all the time, and I want to explain you why. Okay, so we have the pic name and the photo name. So I don't know the difference, but we'll see that. This
I forgot I had one and duplicated it.
It's okay. 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 So now, right?
Right.
So why we do that? Because it's okay. The registration number is for the balloon. If you have another registration number, right? You have a registration number for something else, for example, for the, I don't know, the legal or whatever, the permits registration number, I don't know. In that case, the other one, you say permits or whatever, okay?
Okay.
But if you have one and the main one, the one that is belong to the balloon, you don't need to do a more identification.
Understand.
Okay, you don't need to, because we are in balloon, so we okay. And now you understand that, when you want to look for something, right? You don't do like this, for example. I'll show you an example. Let's create a table, empty table, right? Let's create one, the test, okay? And I explain to you about the naming, right? Okay. When you have fields, okay, and you want to name them, people have the tendency of doing the same type of mistake, right? They say, why so long to delete them? FileMaker 20, are you experiencing this? The database to be a little bit low to validate things, or did you guys do you guys have this?
I find some inconsistencies. Sometimes it'll pop up like that, and I'm also finding occasional crashes when I'm having a long looping script.
Okay. But I'm experiencing the validation of those things in managed database to be slow. So I was wondering if you guys in the audience, has the same problem. So, okay. So let's say I have multiple dates, right? I have multiple dates. I have the date due, right? Let's say, take the example of dates, right? I have the
Sure.
date due.
Because I actually have that in other
Yeah.
places.
Date registration, right?
Yeah.
And then you have date expiration. I'm just making out, right? Making up.
Yeah. Date issued.
Yeah, date issued. Our expiration date. Okay, so you have date like this. Okay, so the problem is when you have something like this, right? In FileMaker, when when we hear search box, I don't know. We are the era of ChatGPT. We don't have a search box in FileMaker managed database. That would be the mystery of the century. But we have one here. It's okay. I have to admit we have one here, well hidden, but we have one here. But for example, if I want to go somewhere in that table, the only way I have is to type the first three letters of the name of the field. If I want registration, I'm doing this, right? If I want audit, I'm doing this. If I want name, I'm doing this. If I want, I don't know, whatever, air, I'm doing this. So if you put dates in front of all the dates, then you lose that ability, because you type dates and you have date. You cannot go straight to the field you want.
Okay.
So you understand? So yeah. So if you do this, if you type dates, you go there. But I cannot say, due, or registration. I can't. It's not going. Okay. So for the naming, okay, like this, right? Expiration date, right? Issue date, okay, and registration date, right? So now I can say expired, issue, registration, issue, and due. I can go straight, right?
Got it.
Typing this, okay?
Yeah.
Don't forget that we have when I can dismiss this. When we want to do something like this with this here, also when we want to insert a field like this, we don't have other ways to go to the field that typing the first three letters of the name, right? Even though, so I was saying that here we can do that now. We can drag something from here, right? I do like it. So we can even drag multiple, right? It's kind of cool. They did a good job. And the search of fields is there. And then we can say, we can search, right? So here we have toggle like this, you have a toggle for the search, right? That's what I'm saying is way hidden, because I wish, we can have both at the same time and not, but they put the privilege on this, right? Then this, okay, it's their choice. I will have to do the opposite, but it's okay. It's because if that was the case with the search box always there, I would be using this much more. Okay. It's my preference. So balloon registration number, let's get rid of the balloon name. Okay. So let's get rid of this and put back, the registration number. Okay. So we're going to name them as we go. And so what else? So we have this, and Yeah, it's very slow. It's FileMaker 20, the validation, and sometimes I have this rebuild dependencies that I didn't get before, and without the skip possibility, capability, option. That makes things a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if it's only me or
Duggan and
Cameron
suggested
not
that you
using
could,
20 years.
yeah, not people, yeah. I think people still haven't quite transitioned over all the way.
Yeah. It's a wide. It's a good decision sometimes to slow down. I slow down a little bit, but I have to because I have to learn about the new stuff on FileMaker 20, right? So we have this. So we're going to continue. So I'm going to take care of the dates here, right? So
Okay.
I don't know if I have I don't think I have this. So I'm going to borrow the dates, a dates field that I'm building, right? I'm going to borrow that in another layout that I have. I have one here, so I can borrow here. For the dates, I have a way to identify, to make the dates field to look like a date field. Okay. Like this. Okay. So we have multiple dates here. So we have the issue date. Okay. So what's the name of the fields? Reg issued, right? So you see here we have the same naming problem.
Right. That should say
Reg. So
registration.
yeah. So we go there, right? Registration expire extended. Okay?
Yeah, there's 3. Oh, there's really 4 there. Yeah.
Okay. And so we have the expire, issued, expires, expire. See here, for example, I cannot see the difference between the two. Registers, reg, expires, printed. Okay. And I bet we have the reg
There's the
issued,
issue.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the extended.
Yeah. Then the extended is the a toggle, a Boolean toggle.
Okay. So we
Taking
have
a quick nap with the hourglass there.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things about registration, right? So that the registration number, right?
Right.
That the issued, so that it's all about registration, right?
Right.
All of those things, it's about registration, and this too.
No.
Okay. So when you have something like this, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to recycle this, right? And put this like this, okay? Okay, why? Because we have everything now, it's about registration, okay? So we group everything together in a box when everything belongs to each other, right? So here, we put this here, and that will be the first date we have here. So I'm putting this here because I don't want to move. So we have the issue date first.
Right.
Okay. So we have the issued. So see what I was saying?
Yep.
Look, okay, I double click. I click here and I say, okay, issue.
Bye. And you're there.
Okay, boom, is there, right? So here I have a combination of multiple objects. Okay. I have one object here, another one here, another one here. So I'm pointing to the same field, the 3 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here I have a label and I say, okay, issued, right?
Right.
And I have this one and this one, but I can remove the conditional, this one. Okay. So what is this? It's 3 fields they point the three to the same field. Okay. This one is where I'm going to select the dates. This one is where I'm going to show the dates, because I want the dates to be like this. Like this. So, and I can arrange it a little bit. It looks like a date. Okay. So that's why, thanks to the way it looks, I don't need to what's the name? Identify this as a date.
Yeah, it's
I know
obviously a date.
it's obvious it's a date.
Right.
Okay. Because it looks like a date. I don't know why it moved like this. So you're right. So how we do this, in not being complicated to build. Okay. So it's three fields tied together, right? So I have the one to select the date, right? You click and you select with the calendar.
Yeah.
Right. Then you have, so that the field on top of it, right? So you have the field on top. Then you have this field on top, and I'm going to explain how I'm building this. Then you have another one that is formatted with a different size and different color, right? And then I have this one pointing to the same issue date with a different size, different color, and different pattern, padding and stuff like this, right? And then here I'm saying, okay, those are date fields. They are fields identified as a date. Then I can use this here and say, in this field, I want to see only the number of the day.
Oh, cool.
So I'm saying, okay, number of the day, none, and nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing. Here, I'm saying is the date. I want to see the short of the month, right?
Yeah.
And the full year.
And the full year.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how you do. And it's easy to do. And then after that, on top of it, you have this field that shows nothing. Why? Because you use this. I'm putting that's completely at the right, not on top.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On the left, not on top. Why?
Had it all the way out of the field boundaries.
Yeah. So, on the left, right? You put that on the left completely. So it put way, if I go this, I see it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm putting, a small, I could have kept the size, because it doesn't matter, because it's there, right?
Right.
See, when I do this, it's there, right? So I have this blank, right? So I'm good with this. So, and you put that on top of this, okay? If you let me do it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have a date that looks like a date with a calendar, okay? So I duplicate this, and I'm going to put the other date, which is the expired printed,
Right.
So what's the difference between printed? So expired, extended. Okay, so that's the expired printed.
Yes.
Okay. So that expires. Expired. So expired. No, it's the printed.
Printed expired.
Yeah. And expired printed. Right?
Yeah.
and this is expire printed. So now I have the expire printed. So I can continue to duplicate this.
Now, actually, the extended one is a calculated one.
It's a calculation. Okay.
It's
In
a
that
calculation.
case,
You should not be able to put a date in there. Yeah. See, it's all auto enter.
it's an auto entry. So, but you
Right.
don't want to. Okay. In that case, very easy. The field that you use with the with the drop down
entry.
calendar, you remove it. Right. So
Right.
you cannot. That's it. And
Yep.
you point this to the extended. Right.
Yep.
And you put that extended.
Right.
So now you have your dates here. Boom. Right.
Right.
And of course, with this gives you the ability to do something cool, right? Let's say I want a conditional, right? I want a conditional to say, oh, I want this to be red in some case, right? And I want this to be orange or green in other case, right? So you can use this to do something like this. Boom. So it does a job, right, of giving you an information of the coloring stuff if you need, without you crush the design, without to make it look like I call that many times a Christmas tree. Okay.
And actually, that extended date does play into the status of this document when we get to that point.
Okay. So now we have the registration number, issued, expired, extended together. So we imply that all about this is about the registration because it's part of the same world, right?
Right.
So you understand? So you give this information. So what else we need? We have other thing. We have the registration status. Yeah.
Yeah. The whether it's valid or not, whether it's extended or not.
So where?
They're the two toggles right to the right of that.
This
extended,
this
not
one?
extended. Yeah, those two.
Okay. So we have those two, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'd reverse them, but that's okay.
What do you mean?
Put the valid on the left and the extended on the right. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I'm not, changing this, but, so here what you do, you have a show and hide condition
Right.
on two things. Okay. Yeah. When you have two choice like this, it looks great. It looks good. It looks good. I mean, when you have something that let's showcase, right? So you have this and this, so it looks okay, right?
Yeah.
But here it doesn't work well when so here, right here. Okay, so when you
if you've got a better visual, I'm up for it.
No, it's I always have my own visual, right? I always use the same pattern because I want to reuse the same thing all the time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's okay. We can, so you hide the button when you click on it. Yeah, it's a good,
Yeah, it toggles the Boolean and then obviously changes the condition.
Yeah. So this is okay when you pile them. If you pile them. Okay.
Okay.
Like this.
Uh-huh.
Right? Okay. But this will look great in my opinion, right? If you put that in a polar row. it makes sense when you have something like this. Tac, 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 tac. No? So, but here, so let's work on another type of display. Okay.
Well, but I don't know that we would have a portal there with all the different balloons.
I know, no. Just I'm just saying this type of display with the the iPhone like the slider like this,
that looks good in a yeah.
Yeah, that's what the
okay.
point. So you look okay. So here,
I see where we're going.
you have this. So what's the name of this?
That's the
What it's
that would be
valid, not valid.
The valid, yeah, the valid, not valid
Okay,
one.
okay.
Registration valid is the field.
Yeah, so we can actually, you know what? I have a better idea because we can use the same as you have, right? We can use the same technique, but with a different visual, right? So and we put that horizontal, right? How we can do this because
David Angel's asking if a check icon might be a better.
Yeah, exactly, because it is a check, because it's not okay. Here in this case here, I'm selecting an option, private, commercial. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, but here I think just a button is enough, and I'm going to show you how I would have done this, how I'm doing this. We put a button here, okay, and we put the valid, okay, and then I'm putting here an icon that will be the checkbox, okay. So, and I don't know if I have I don't think, I don't have so let's go default, and I'm building one. Okay, so I'm putting like 5 5 corner radius like this. 5 degrees of corner radius, okay? And I'm putting this, so I have this, okay? Like this. So, so this what I have here, right? So, and this is the button for the valid. So here we have 2 buttons here. Like, okay, so we have one button that says set balloon here, right?
Yep.
So what balloon registration valid -1?
Yeah, the way I was toggling it was just to always -1 and grab the absolute value of it.
So why you do this?
So if it was a 1, it would become if it was a 1, -1 would be a 0. If it was a 0, it'd be a -1. The absolute changes it to a +1.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
I picked that up from somebody.
Yeah, it's
because you could copy and paste it.
Yeah, exactly. It always work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we have this valid button, right? So but we don't want too much of so I think we can even we keep that way, right? We say okay, it's not valid. So we I'm just thinking out loud how we can do this, right? So we have done this like this. This is my way, okay? So, and I will say, so the field to do this validation here, we have the balloon registration, right? Registration valid.
Registration valid.
Okay. So, like this, okay? So set fields. So we have a set field. Registration valid here, okay? so you have this technique of the -1, right?
Right.
But I would have say if self. No, I cannot say that. If what's the name? Registration.
Registration valid.
Okay. Registration valid. 0. Otherwise 1. So this is the way of doing it, right?
Okay.
So if this is because the answer of this will be Boolean. If this, right, put
Right.
the 0, otherwise 1. So let's see if it works, right? Registration valid. Okay, so I'm blocked. Okay, doesn't want to validate it. Okay, so we need to close the window. So 0, 1, 0, 1, right? See here? 0, 1, 0, 1. So yeah, the -1 is it's okay, but this we do the same job, but to me it's more understandable.
Okay.
What do you think? It's your opinion. If this 0, otherwise 1. It's okay.
Yeah, I think I've done
It's a-
them. I've done it multiple ways, and Lynn says that you could do the absolute with 1 minus the field and get the same effect without having to do the absolute. And so there's yet another version of it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
lots of
have
ways.
yeah, exactly.
Some way to toggle the field from 0 to 1 and back.
Yeah, exactly. So you can do this, just this, formula this, okay? Because we are in the Boolean 0, 1, right? So that's the advantage of the Boolean, right?
Right.
Okay. So you want the color, right? You want the green and the red and stuff like that, right? That's what you want?
Yeah, if it's displaying the word valid, then I'd like it green, and if it's not valid, then I'd like it red.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, but in that case, we need in that case, we don't need the icon. The icon doesn't make so we have a not valid like this, right? And we
Right.
have a valid version of the
Right.
same button. Okay. Right?
Right. Which is
So-
kind of what we had. I just had an icon with it because I had a little slider switch to make it,
Okay.
But
So we put this here. So when this is 1, this goes away. Okay. So yeah, it's valid.
right.
And when it's not this, it goes away, this one. Right?
Right.
So this one will be a green version of it. No, not
Red.
a red version, right? It's a red version of the button. And this is a green version of the button, right? So
Right.
I copy this style, I paste this style here, and then I make it green like this, and I populate like this.
You just do all the conditions or all the statuses of the button. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So,
Yep.
okay. So it's to me it's simpler because we don't need the icons because it would have made everything complicated. I would have done this. Okay, if I had to, make it very well, I would have done this, right? I will have put the checkbox on the green one, and here not valid, not
Okay.
valid,
Yeah.
valid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just a smooth indication. So now I'm not using personally. It's my preference using the button bar to do that.
Understand.
I'm not, because I don't know. It's my habit like this. I'm not using this type of objects. Um, um, I rather prefer to have something like this, right? So you duplicate this, right? And the other
Right.
one is extended, not extended, right?
Right.
So this is extended because we have the hidden states. So with the hidden states, you can hide your button like this, right? So you can work on those, right? You can work on those, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, and kind of to let's see, David is saying if it's not selected, it should be yellow. In the case of extended, it's not really red. If it's not extended, it's really kind of more of a gray. But that's an easy color change.
yeah. So of course,
Yeah. Yeah. More of a
like
gray.
this, like this.
Yeah.
I wish you
Where
have a button here.
valid has a good and bad, extended is just kind of a status, and it toggles the year between expired printed and expired extended.
Okay. So what the fields that we reg
Registration
extended.
extended.
Okay. This one.
Yeah.
So I copy this because this works on both buttons, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. And I'm copying this because the Boolean, okay, I want to explain the Boolean here. Why I'm not saying if balloon registration extended equal 1, then 0. Why I'm not doing this? Because I don't need. Because FileMaker will interpret this. FileMaker will understand 0, 1. It will understand. It say, okay, if this, like this, FileMaker will, if on the other side we have, if on the field you have 0 and 1, FileMaker will understand it. We don't need more information than this, right? Okay.
Right.
And that's the same for the hidden states. We just put this.
It's a different field.
Yeah. And just put this, the not, right? It will understand that the Boolean, right?
Right.
So now we can click here and not extended, not valid.
Yeah. And you see the date changes, the year changes.
Yeah.
When it's extended or not.
Okay.
And the condition is changing based on valid or
and
not
we have
valid.
this changing of.
Yep.
Okay.
That's changing. Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, it's it's a preference. I'm using the same pattern all the time, so I can reuse easily. Oops. Yeah, that happened often. The button bar, I don't know. It's because the button bar has the active state, inactive state. It's not built for that. You understand? I
Yeah.
don't know the
Okay.
I don't need the inactive. Uh, here, I have more freedom than the button bar, in my
Understand.
opinion, and
I'm
it's
seeing
less
that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you
seeing
can
that.
manipulate them more easily. You can change them. You can. So that's the preference of mine. So it's up to you guys. I just show what I do, and then you adopt it or not. That's up to you. We all have our preferences, right? And and this is one of mine. So I can put a little bit more space here, right? So now I have my world here. So this is all about registration, right?
Right.
Because it's all together. So now this is how it looks. So it's straightforward. We have all the information we need. And it's not a Christmas tree. We have the date that looks great. You can read them very easily, right? We don't have a lot of tables and stuff like that. We know what it is, right? So you can continue, right? But Marge will say me, oh, it's time to land. Okay, so we can continue tomorrow, and
just to kind of set it up, if you want to bring up that verification one, the next two are real similar. The airworthiness, it doesn't have an expiration date on it, and it just has a couple of extra text fields with it. And then the annual has the dates again. It just with the status. So we'll be able to basically copy that whole block and just make minor
exactly. So we're going to delete those, right?
Yep.
And this too. And then we duplicate this and we, do like this. Boom. Right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow and one more time, and we have all those,
Yeah, and one becomes airworthiness and one becomes the annual inspection.
Yeah. So for example, here I want to spread this. Right? I have 3 blocks and I want to spread them evenly. Right? So before we go, I'm showing you how I'm doing this. So I'm selecting this block, I group it.
Isn't that already a slide panel that gets you?
Yeah, but I don't need to group it. I just need to group it to do an action. But I will ungroup that after that,
Okay.
Okay, I want to distribute this evenly, right? So I'm positioning myself here. I want to distribute. So I'm selecting these 3 blocks, 3 groups. Then I'm going here and I'm using this object.
Right.
So now I'm seeing that I need a little bit more space here. So I'm moving the one on the top. I reselect this and then boom. So now they are evenly distributed, right?
Yeah.
I could even put this one too, include this one too, right? So you can set this like this, and then you include this one, and then boom, they are distributed. And then you can ungroup. So now I have my group of objects like this, right?
Yeah.
So let's continue tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow we do the pilot stuff, this pilot stuff here. So, and I'm going to show you the benefits of the cross-reference table, about the pilot. So see you tomorrow.
Perfect. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Ken. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Margaret.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Y'all have a good one, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!